Goodwill's got me fired up today, guys. I just had a really bad experience with them. So bad, it actually had me thinking about changing the name of the channel from Goodwill Hunters to something else, because this was not Goodwill, this was Badwill, and I'm going to tell you about it in this video, so stay tuned. Alright, so the story goes like this, guys. I bought some electronics from Goodwill and brought them home. Among those electronics, I had a pair of bookshelf speakers, and I wanted to clean them up. They were pretty dusty, and I figured, hey, I can just clean them up and I'll be able to turn around and resell them and make a bunch of money, right? Each speaker was $8.50 a piece, roughly, so about $16 total for the speakers. When I started cleaning them up, I took the price tags off and saved them, but I took them off. And the electronics at the local Goodwill, they do have this code on them that they write to help them keep track of the price. So I also erased that as well while I was cleaning them. And then when I realized, hey, these are falling apart, I can't use them, I put the price tags back on, I grabbed my receipt, and I went back to Goodwill to return them, and Goodwill would not accept them. They would not accept them back because I had erased their red code off of the speakers. And I said, hey, I got the receipt, I got the price tags, what's the problem? They said, well, you erased the red marker that we write on there, so therefore we can't take them back. So they refused to accept them back. As part of my return as well, I bought this little stereo system which did not work properly, so I brought that back to them as well, and I let them know this doesn't work, it's broken. Right? So they refunded me for that, which I'm glad they did, but they would not refund me for the speakers. So I said, you know what, the $16, whatever, just keep them. I don't want them. I left. Then I went back the next day, and what did I find? The speakers were back on the shelf, and not only were they back on the shelf, guys, they had priced them at $25 a piece. So they went from selling them to me for $16. I bring them back, tell them they're falling apart, I don't want them. They put them back on the shelf, asking $50 for the pair now.
Man, this is some bullshit!
As if.
And if that isn't scandalous enough, the little stereo system that I told them was broken, guess what was sitting on the shelf as well? You guessed it. The stereo was back on the shelf. So they are literally putting broken merchandise back on the shelf for someone else to buy.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
And if you ask me, this is super shady business tactics, or whatever you want to call it. It's just a bad way of doing business. If somebody comes back to you and says, hey, this is broken, I want to return it, if they have the receipt, they have the price tag, you should accept it back. And then also, for God's sakes, don't put it back on the shelf if you know it's broken. Or if you're going to put it back on the shelf, at least put, 4 parts only, not working, damaged, whatever. But apparently Goodwill doesn't care about that. They're going to put damaged and broken stuff on the shelf and not care. And I get it, they're busy, they're going through donations and stuff. They might not always have time to test things to make sure they work properly. But if somebody tells you an item is broken, you should probably take it off the shelf and, avoid selling that broken item to somebody else. So, and on that note, I've actually started bringing with me, when I go to Goodwill, a little Goodwill kit, as I like to call it. And I actually got it right here. I have it in this little Bath and Body Works bag. No product placement. I just haven't found a cool bag to put this in yet. But what I have in here is I have bags of, I got a CD in there, I got some power cords, I got some batteries. What else? I got a DVD. I got VHS, Back to the Future, good flick, and some other power cords and whatnot. So Now, when I go to Goodwill, I bring batteries, I bring power cords, I bring cassette tapes, CDs, so I can test the merchandise on the spot. Because I gotta tell you guys, it's a pain in the ass. You buy something from them, you get home, you find out it's broken, you gotta turn around and take it right back again. And come to find out, there's some things they're not even gonna take back. So I bring this kit along with me to be able to test all the items right there to ensure that they're working. So that is one way that it helps cut down on having to return items back to Goodwill. So yeah, so thanks for checking out the video, guys, and hearing me out on this. Definitely very frustrating to take an item back that doesn't work or is broken and they won't accept a refund on it. And then it's definitely frustrating to return damaged merchandise only to see them put it right back on the shelf the next day for someone else to unknowingly buy and take home and find out that it's broken as well. So the lesson I learned coming away from this is, if your Goodwill puts codes on the electronics and you buy them, do not erase that code unless you are sure you are going to keep that item, because otherwise they can refuse to allow you to return those. And I think the rationale behind that is there were people trying to scam Goodwill. They would purposefully take the price tag off and go to the register and say, hey, this doesn't have a price on it, you know, what do you want for it, hoping that Goodwill would give them a cheaper price. So I think their Goodwill's way around that is start writing codes on the items so they know what they're priced at, even if the tag falls off. So, which I get, I understand that they don't want to be frauded by customers or whatnot. So, but to not accept a return when someone has a receipt and the tags and the item, you know, I don't agree with that. So anyway, thanks again, guys, for checking out the video, and you know, definitely like and subscribe to help support the channel. Leave your comments below. And definitely a frustrating day, but it's not going to stop me from thrifting. Definitely still going to go back to Goodwill and buy more things, and because there's a lot more money to be made, but definitely going to be much more careful in the future about what items I pick up, and I'm not erasing that code unless I know I'm keeping it. So thanks again for checking out the video, guys. To all you resellers out there, happy hunting, and I'll catch you in the next one.